Have you ever just wished for a shortcut, a fast track to real, profound wisdom? Well, today, we're diving into the Great Treasure Heap Sutra. It's an ancient Buddhist text where a great spiritual seeker basically asks the Buddha that exact question, and the answer he gets, whoa, it sends us on this incredible journey to the furthest reaches of the cosmos and right into the deepest corners of our own minds.
So the question, and it comes from a bodhisattva named Punya-Ratna Kusumita, is pretty simple. Is there a swift path to ultimate awakening? But instead of a simple yes or no, the Buddha lays out this amazing two-part roadmap. One path takes us outward on a grand tour of the universe. The other one? It takes us inward, deep into the very nature of our own thoughts.
Okay, so first, the Buddha just blows our minds wide open with this tour of the cosmos. He reveals that this spiritual journey of ours, it's not a solo mission, not even close. There's a whole universe of support available, starting with these enlightened beings, the Buddhas, who live in all 10 directions. It's a really mind-bending look at the sheer scale of help we can actually tap into.
All right, so our cosmic tour kicks off in the East, in a world system with this beautiful name, All Dharma Merit Adornment. Just imagine this as our first stop, our first port of call in this vast, interconnected spiritual universe. Each direction we visit is going to have its own unique Buddha land, and this is where we begin.
So in this realm, we meet the immeasurable Merit Gem Adornment Majesty King. And the text tells us that the simple act of holding this Buddha's name in your mind has some seriously profound consequences. We're talking about dissolving 60,000 times eons of karmic baggage and getting a special kind of eloquence, the ability to speak joyfully without any hesitation.
From the East, our cosmic journey continues southward to another world called Merit Gem Adornment. So here we are in a different realm, meeting a different Buddha and discovering a whole new set of pretty extraordinary benefits for anyone on the path.
Here we meet the Merit Gem Victory Adornment Majesty King, and the promises for connecting with him are just staggering. You can attain this really deep meditative state called the Samadhi of Sunlight's Universal Radiance. Get this, you also gain the freedom to be reborn in any Pure Land you choose, and you can even develop the 32 physical marks of a great enlightened being.
Okay, next stop, the West. And we're going to a world whose name alone is so inviting, free from all sorrow and gloom. I mean, doesn't that just sound like a realm of ultimate peace and tranquility?
In this realm, the benefits we see are a little different. The Buddha here is the All-Dharma Superlative Eloquence Adornment. Reciting this name is said to grant some powerful protection, making you invulnerable to things like poison, blades, fire, and water. Beyond that, it guarantees a miraculous non-physical birth in your next life and helps you develop a special mental power called a dharani. It's kind of like a mental key that unlocks deeper states of concentration.
All right, to round out our tour of the 4 cardinal directions, we arrive in the north, in a world called Free from Dust and Gloom, a place of just pristine, perfect clarity. Now in the Mord, the scale of the merit is almost incomprehensible. The Buddha of this realm is the amassed immeasurable eloquence and wisdom. Holding his name in your mind is said to be the same as serving an astronomical number of Buddhas. It's a practice that guarantees you will never again fall into lower realms of suffering, and, this is huge, it ensures you achieve non-retrogression. That means you will never turn back from your path to full enlightenment.
So just as we're getting comfortable with this amazing cosmic tour of support, bam! The whole text just pivots dramatically. The great Bodhisattva of wisdom, Manjushri, steps onto the scene with this powerful counterpoint. He says, "The realm of the Buddha should be sought within the afflictions of all living beings." He's basically telling us to stop looking out at the vast cosmos and start looking inward.
And that kicks off the second part of our journey, the inward path. See, if the Buddha's cosmic tour was the what, all this vast support that's available to us, then the wisdom Bodhisattva Manjushri's teaching is the how. How do we actually walk this path ourselves? He gives us a practical, step-by-step guide for cultivating our own minds.
The cornerstone of everything Manjushri teaches rests on this one single powerful concept, non-laxity. Now, this isn't just about not being lazy. It's way more dynamic than that. Think of it as a vigilant, awake state of mind. It's diligent, mindful effort, and consciously guarding your mind against all the unhelpful stuff. Manjushri calls this the very root of all good qualities.
So how do we actually practice this non-laxity? Well, Manjushri breaks it down into 4 pillars. You start by grounding yourself in ethical conduct and learning. From there, you go deeper with meditation and wisdom. As your wisdom grows, you develop some really powerful mental abilities. And finally, you learn to rest in this state of deep serenity, while at the same time constantly observing reality exactly as it is. It's a complete system for transforming your mind.
But it doesn't stop there. This framework gets even more detailed. Manjushri lays out what's known as the 37 Aids to Enlightenment. You should think of this as the ultimate curriculum for the mind, a super detailed blueprint that covers every single stage of spiritual development.
So the map begins with the foundations. First, the 4 foundations of mindfulness. That's learning to watch your body, your feelings, your mind, and everything around you without judgment. Next, the 4 right efforts give you a strategy for mental hygiene. Prevent the bad, get rid of the bad, grow the good, and keep the good going. And finally, the 4 bases of power help you build that inner engine, the will, the effort, and the focus you need to stay on the path.
So, from that solid foundation, we start to develop our inner strengths. These are called the 5 roots: faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. And as these roots grow stronger, they literally blossom into the 5 powers, becoming potent enough to completely overcome their opposites, like doubt, laziness, and confusion.
And all of this dedicated practice, it all culminates in the final stages of the path. The 7 factors of enlightenment start to emerge naturally. In a well-trained mind, qualities like joy, tranquility, and equanimity. And of course, this all leads directly to the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, the cornerstone of Buddhist teaching and the comprehensive guide to living that leads straight to the end of suffering. This right here is the blueprint for liberation.
So, we've been on this incredible journey outward to the furthest reaches of the cosmos, and an equally profound journey inward to the deepest parts of our own mind. But how do these 2 seemingly opposite paths fit together? Well, this is where the true wisdom of the text really shines.
And here it is, the beautiful synthesis of these 2 paths. The outward journey is all about connecting with the boundless grace and support of the Buddhas. It's a path of faith and devotion. The inward journey is about taking personal responsibility, rolling up our sleeves, and cultivating our own minds through wisdom and practice. They aren't contradictory at all. They're like 2 wings of the same bird. You absolutely need both to fly.
And that leaves us with a final question to really think about. On our own spiritual paths, how do we balance these 2 essential elements? How can we open ourselves to all the support that surrounds us while also doing the hard work of inner transformation? This ancient text suggests that the swift path to awakening isn't about choosing one over the other, but skillfully weaving them both together. What does that balance look like for you?